When is a bad bishop still useful? Have you ever found yourself in a chess game with a bad bishop? You know, that piece stuck behind its own pawns, feeling pretty useless. Well, let's talk about when a bad bishop can actually come in handy. First, let's clarify what we mean by a bad bishop. A bad bishop is typically blocked by your own pawns, which limits its movement and ability to control important squares. This often happens when your pawns are positioned on the same color squares as your bishop. There are three main types of bad bishops. One is blocked by your own pawns, another is restricted by your opponent's pawns, and the last one lacks targets altogether. Now, you might think that a bad bishop is just a liability, but there are situations where it can still be useful. For instance, in a defensive role, a bad bishop can guard key squares or support your pawns. Even if it cannot attack, it can still help protect against enemy threats. Another scenario is when there is potential for improvement. If you can maneuver your pawns or create gaps in your pawn structure, a bad bishop can become more active later in the game. This means that it may not be stuck forever. Trading opportunities also arise. If you can exchange your bad bishop for your opponent's good bishop, you can equalize the game or gain a strategic advantage. This is especially effective if your opponent's good bishop is on the same color squares as your bad bishop. Sometimes, sacrificing a bad bishop can open up lines for your other pieces. This can create weaknesses in your opponent's position that you can exploit later on. In the endgame, even a bad bishop can be powerful. If it is the only piece left on the board, it can influence key squares or support pawns in their journey to promotion. Managing your pawn structure is essential. You want to plan moves that can free your bad bishop or create opportunities for it to become active. Anticipating when your bad bishop might be useful involves thinking ahead and creating chances for improvement or trading. So, while a bad bishop may seem like a burden, it can still play a role in your strategy. By understanding its potential and planning accordingly, you can turn that seemingly useless piece into a valuable asset in your game.